Welcome back to the Exchange Trader channel on the 19th of November 2016. Today we're looking at the 345 at Lingfield, a 5 furlong handicap. Now this video is going to talk about the tactic of blocking. And what do we mean by blocking? Well, if we look at Bertie Blue Boy, we can see there is quite a bit of money on the bet side at 42, and that would be a block for the price to move above that position. Now, blocking can be beneficial and it also can be quite dangerous, and I'll explain the position on Bertie Blue Boy with regards to whether I think it's going to be a positive or a negative effect. First of all, the block hasn't come from myself, it's come from another player. So the first thing to remember is when you're looking at blocking that this price, you have no control over the money that's in that position. Now this money could be taken out of the market very, very quickly, and then you're left with very little in behind the weight of money, so the price could actually go quite high up. Now another thing to remember is the weight of money on the lay side. Now if there was £5 on at 40 on this side and then very little else, it would be reasonable to take the £5, but because there's weight of money on the lay side, then you have to be very careful when you're thinking about taking the money. So if I took the £25 at 38, then it's likely that somebody else would put some money in on this side very, very quickly. You also have to consider the form of the horse going into the race and the price in the market. Now the price in the market with the bookmakers is round about 28 to 1, and in my opinion when you get to 28, 33 to 1, then more often than not the price will lengthen to 50, 55, 60. And if we look at the graph on the right hand side, you can see that the price did go out very quickly to 55 and then came back into 35. So if I was looking at trading this horse, I would want the block to be a little bit higher up. I would want it to be up near the 50-55 mark. You can also see that the price has come down to round about 18, and I think that's where the market was very little in terms of liquidity, so there wouldn't have been much money in the market, and it would take very little money to bring that price down to 18. But the main price has been between 27 and round about 45. So although it is quite high up at 40, we still want this position to be a little bit higher up for the block to be effective. Now as we get closer to race time, again that's a negative position, because as we get closer to race time then the weight of money will come into the market, and this could well get taken as we get within the last hour before the race. So at 3:45 is the race, we're now at 20 past 2, so it's a little bit close to post time to be using the block to take the money on this side and try and push the price down. You will find at this time that the price will just push back up again. Now I will in future videos show you a position where the block will probably get you a profit, and that will come in later videos, but for the time being we're just going to watch the price on Bertie Blue Boy. Now I'm going to make a prediction on this horse, and I'm going to say that the block at 42 will get taken, and I think the price will move further up to 50, 55, certainly up 46, 48. So I don't think this block will have any effect on the market pushing down. I think that will certainly get taken and the price will move up. So we're just going to put a pause in the video and we'll come back a little bit later and see whether that's happened, what the position is with the market on Bertie Blue Boy. So here we have a position where someone is actually trying to use the block to force the price down. Now they put the money in at 40 hoping that the 38 will get taken, and or might take the 38 themselves and then try and force this down. So that's someone who's using that £82 for their own benefit. The better strategy for this position would be to remove the block and also this money here, and then let the price just filter upwards. Whilst you've got that money in, the price is going to stagnate round about this position. But if there was no opposition to this money at 38, then the market would, I believe, begin to force its way up to 50. So you'd actually get a better price if you took the money out. There's no reason to block it at the price. And I think that's a failing of some players on Geeks Toy Betfair, that they put the money in at a certain price, and if they didn't put the money in, they just left this side open and reduced the liquidity of the market, then they would get a lot better price very, very quickly. And we'll show that how that might happen in a future video as well. We'll have a look at that in operation. So you can see the money that was in at 40 is gradually being taken, and once that's been taken, we're back to the position of the block, and the lay side will remain at 40. Maybe chip away at the 82, just take a couple of points off, but it's not going to go above the 42 until that 82 has been removed from the market. It's going to be bouncing around between 42 and 36 until we get a lot closer to race time, and then when the weight of money comes in, obviously the 82 can get taken very, very quickly. And as we said, the price has now got taken at 40, and you can see this, the money is starting to be chipped away from the 82 at 42. So I think this is going to go a little bit higher, going to start chipping away at the 76, and as we say, we'll get close to post time, then this is going to be reduced, and the market is, in my opinion, going to go up to 48, 50, 55. Now, would it take the price at 55? In this, or on this occasion, I don't think I would do, because the form isn't strong enough on the horse going into the race. So even 55, 60, in my opinion, is still not a tradable price. And if I was playing in the market, then I would probably look elsewhere for the trades. For example, Burning Thread would be one that I would be interested in if it went out to a lot higher mark and if there was sufficient time before the race started. So I don't want to be trading horses in the last 5 or 10 minutes before the race. I want to be trading them half an hour at least before the race, and we can get a decent number of trades onto the horse. So Burning Thread is certainly one to watch, but it has decent form, and if the price does go out, we might be interested. It might come back in, or it might stay in the 20s. So that's the horse to certainly keep an eye on. Remember, as a trader, we're not trying to pick horses that are necessarily going to win the race. Only thing that we need to look at is whether it's going to be a tradable position, it's going to be a tradable price, and maybe we can look at it then in running at a price of between 5 and 10. So on many occasions you'll trade a horse and you'll put in a position during the race, and the horse may reach that position and still finish well back in the field, but the fact of the matter is you've made a profit on the race, and that, at the end of the day, that's all that counts. And we're now starting to see a weak position on Burning Thread. You can see there's only a pound there at 23, and then very little money on the right hand side. So that could still, as I said before, that could still be a tradable opposition or proposition. Now we can see the price at 42 reduced to 57, so we're getting to that position where the money on the lay side is going to be bigger than the money on the bet side, and I don't think that's too far off. So on this occasion the block was no use to us, simply because it came in at the wrong price, and the market knew that, so it was pushing up against the 42 and taking the money. Now if it was at the right price, the block would be more beneficial to us. And as expected, we've now reached the position where the money on the lay side, the £25 here, is bigger than the 42. So I'm even more confident now that the price is going to push up to 50 and maybe even bigger than 50. And if we look at the 50-50 split now, on the lay side we've got 25-34, and on the bet side we've got 30. So there is a slightly bigger bias on the lay side, which again half an hour ago was not the case. And we can see now that the price has almost disappeared at 42. So let's just watch the market for a minute or so and see what happens when this single figure goes, and see if the market pushes up straight away. Now the price on Burning Thread is holding up round about 21-23. It's a reasonable price for the form on offer, but in terms of trading price, well, we said before we would want it to be a little bit higher. I can see the price on Bertie Blue Boy pushing up. It's gone up to 48 very quickly. We've got 13 in at 50, and if that gets taken, then we've got no real opposition on this side. So the market has reacted to the block by saying, well, the block was in the wrong position, it was in the wrong price, and gradually the force was with the left hand side. We went right through the 42, and now we're getting up towards the 50. So I hope you've enjoyed the video on blocking and market forces. Primarily the reason the block didn't work was that it came in at the wrong price. 42 was a little bit too low for the form of the horse. We would have expected it to be a lot higher than that, 55, 60, 65. And if the block did come in early enough at these prices, then it may have been a different story. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. In the post-race analysis, Bertie Blue Boy traded right out, went out to 95, even touched 110 at one stage, and it was never in the race, finishing last of the 10 runners. Burning Thread never reached a realistic trade price. It did go down to, I think it was about 10.511 in running, but again that one finished well back in the field. I think Burning Thread is one to take out of the race next time. Maybe we'll get a trade on that in the near future. So thanks very much for the people that have subscribed to the channel. If you want to subscribe, if you're not linked with the channel yet, do push the button and leave a like. If you're not understanding anything and you want to leave a comment, do that by all means. And I appreciate your time. Thanks very much for watching this episode from The Exchange Trader.